ask and it's already given. Like it's already, like before you even know to ask, before you even know to pray for something, the solution is already there.
Yes.
And then it's just about aligning with that. But even when you think, you know, like you have to be perfect, you can't be going through emotional this or that, like that, none of that, like things are still divinely orchestrated behind the scenes, even when you're working through something or going through something, right? So there's this concept that you have to be like in perfect energy all the time in order to like, in order
to manifest.
To manifest or something like that. So
my sister and I were talking about that exact concept today, that like, you don't, I think that's the misconception with manifesting, where it's almost like coming from it like a more masculine control set point of like, well, I have to like hold my head just right and say the right things and be in a high vibe. It's like, no, what's the highest
and I have
frequency?
to meditate every single day at a certain time. And
yeah, like, those are permission slips, right? Like that could give you permission to like be okay to receive, but ultimately it's your authenticity. And I feel like you and I have talked a lot about that. Like being authentic puts you in the frequency of aligning you with the syncs, the synchronistic, serendipitous events, and that are already given. Do you have an example of when before you even asked, it was already set in motion, but you had asked and then it like the thing showed up?
Yeah, just instantly. Yeah, just recently there was an example where there was anxiety, like felt the anxiety or anxiousness. It was just basically recognizing where the body's not calibrated to receive and let it be easy and let it be effortless. And then as I just tapped into that with presence, with awareness, brought breath to it, presence, and anchored into, oh, this solution already exists. It removed all, and literally within 3 minutes, the solution showed up in my inbox of that.
Oh my gosh.
It's time stamped by the universe, like at the same moment that I was walking my dogs and letting go or like releasing the like how's it gonna pan out, that the monkey mind thing that comes in and tries to figure out how something's going to happen, and then just anchored into the solution already exists, but locked into my I am presence, and the solution already exists. And I walked inside. I didn't even check my inbox yet, but I went to the gym and came back, and then I realized, like, oh my God, like the exact same thing. It doesn't even really surprise me anymore, but it still does. It's still fun. Because it's getting so, it's like your awareness is like this laser, like you're able to focus in and collapse the timeline based on what you're focusing, and the higher your frequency is when you're operating from presence, it's just like there is no gap. It's like you can experience instant manifestation like that. Because, and ultimately you're closing a gap that didn't even exist to begin with.
No, 100%. And it's funny because I have an example of where before you're even asking, it's given with you. Because a couple of Sundays ago, I was out with a friend. He mentioned that one day he got so fed up for like a few years, he was just kind of confused, trying to figure out his business model. He was just feeling like he was meant to move beyond something. And he said that he just went to bed one night and was like, you know what, Spirit, Source, God, I'm just going to give it to you. He turned his phone off. He's like, I trust that the thing will find me. And from that true space of surrender and like openness to receiving, he went to bed, and he wakes up, and the next morning he gets a message from someone that was like, hey, I have this business idea. You've been on my mind. Do you want to meet? And he meets with them, and within 7 days they have this whole business plan like modeled out, and they launched their partnership together. Well, I had that in mind a few Sundays ago as I was cutting up some watermelon, and I'm like, you know what, God, Source, I'm giving this over to you. I trust that the next version of me, the expanded self, is going to come through in business. I'm going to give it to you. I go lay down 10 minutes later, meditate, take a nap. I wake up, and there's a message from you saying, hey, I was in meditation, or I was out at the pool or something, and I had this idea, since we both have the same brand, Divine Femme, synchronistically, we both have brands around the one, be the one. Maybe we're meant to collaborate. Like, what do you think about doing this channel? And it was like, I asked, but something was already in motion. It was just allowing me to become present enough to ask authentically. So it's presence, authenticity, surrender, right? So PAS, PAS, right? Like, you know what I mean? If we were to put like a model to it, And there's been countless other,
Yeah.
big and small.
Mhm.
And you're good about this too. I feel like you and I, we give thanks when things happen, even the small things.
Oh yeah.
And we reinforce, like, we're so provided for, we're so protected, we're so safe, we're so aligned, we're so abundant. Like, because we acknowledge the things, the small ones, so that when the big ones come, they're just as magical, and the small is just as magical.
Yeah, and it was interesting when you were sharing that. The thing that was popping up is like the energy of not doing.
Yes.
That put you in receptive mode.
Yeah,
and
I literally
alignment.
napped.
And that was exactly like I was in the energy simultaneously. I was going through 2 days of not doing
Yes,
and
that's
just
right.
following fun and joy.
Yeah.
Which just led me to the pool, hanging out with palm trees and walking my fur babies and just not doing anything.
Yeah.
And in that, and I was willing to walk away from whatever was not working within Divine Femme. I was willing to just say, I allowed it to be to evolve to its highest expression.
Yeah.
Because I felt like there was more.
Yeah.
That wanted to be expressed through it.
And you were in such an open, surrendered
to it.
That's so important.
Called it in.
You were ready to let it go.
I was ready to walk.
That gives me chills, because that, I think, is the thing that a lot of us, myself included, I was at that marker too, where I'm like, I'm willing to let go of my courses, Divine Femme, whatever, for the highest expression of the divine to channel through us. And because you were in that heart space, I think that was so important. And I'd like to ask you this. So let's talk about this. First of all, drop a comment below. Have you experienced a synchronicity like that, where you ask, before you even ask, it's already given, or it's already in motion? We'd love to see that.
Instant. It's almost like instant. And it can be instant even.
Yeah.
Like I've experienced that a lot.
Right? Same. Like little things and big things where I'm like, God, why do we even worry about anything if we just trust? And I think what it is it's strengthening the trust muscle, the faith muscle.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this, because I want to go back to, you were willing to burn it all down. You had this insight
That's
of
kind
collaboration.
of like my MO, though. I have a lot of Scorpio in me, so I'm willing to go through the death and rebirth process whenever necessary.
Well, let's touch upon, you were willing to collaborate with me. Instead of going like, she's got the same brand as me and a course, like competition. Like, there was not an ounce of competition in your invitation when you reached out, and I didn't feel it. In fact, you and I both were like, oh my God, how cool. Can you talk to me a little bit about how, in a world where we've been fed competition and oh, you gotta like get above and you gotta position yourself, can you talk to me a little bit about your heart set and what inspired you to invite in this collaboration?
Yeah, it was, I'm fully anchored in the divine orchestration of things. Someone just reached out to me on LinkedIn or something like that and said, how are you going to separate your brand from competition and this and that? And they used the word competition. I'm like, I don't believe in competition.
Yeah. Creation, collaboration.
Yeah.
But like, why competition? We're in different frequencies. Like, everyone's in different frequencies.
Yeah, there is absolutely no like competition. Whatever industry you're in, if you're anchored in your truth and your authenticity, it is a direct calling that's pulling you through, and it's in direct response to the collective that you were already one with that's asking for it.
The energetic demand is what I say.
Yeah, it's already there.
If you have the desire to share or to provide a supply, the energetic demand
it's simultaneous.
Is calling it forth from
you.
It's kind of like when we talk about love, not to jump from business to love, but I always say, like, sure, you could be manifesting a beloved, but what I believe is the beloved's manifesting you, and it's causing you to rise, and there's the energetic demand there as well.
Yeah, that's the same with clients, soulmate clients. They're calling, like, it's elevating to be able to receive them because they're already calling and asking for it, but then someone will play small or hide their light or dim their magic in some way. It won't be a resonant match for what they're actually calling in. So it's about recognizing the frequency, the signal that you're broadcasting. And the signal and frequency of your highest divine reality is quite different than the signal and frequency of the old program conditioning that comes from competition, greed, and fear-based consciousness.
That gives me chills. Can you elaborate more on that? Because you're right, there's a frequency gap that people don't realize.
Yeah.
That's not the vibe.
Frequency is the currency of New Earth.
100%. Yeah. And I always say frequency and your creativity is your currency.
Yeah, and that's like those go hand in hand, because when you're in your creator frequency, you're in your God essence that wants to create through you.
One.
Yeah, you're the one. You're surrendered into, you're allowing yourself to be a channel and a vessel. And the more the separate self you that wants to try to figure everything out gets out of the way and just allows source to channel through, then it's a done deal. Whatever it is that you're aligning with, it's already in direct response to what is being called through. You can't even mess it up. You can't even get it wrong.
Yes.
Like the concept of getting it wrong or messing it up or failing doesn't even exist.
The illusion.
The competition doesn't exist.
Yeah.
It's really just, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
important for the new earth business owners and entrepreneurs. I feel like we've moved out of, there's a lot of us next level leadership, celebrities, entrepreneurs that are embodying the frequency of love, and instead of the ideology of separation, which is the illusion, people call it the enemy, people call it the darkness, anything that begets and promotes separation is the lie. And I think the whole journey, this glorious adventure on this spinning blue ball in the universe that we're on, is to remember we're one. We're unity consciousness. We're one with the creator dwells within us, as us, expressing through us, right?
Yeah, and there's something you just said that triggered something. The separation, yes, it's part of the illusion. It's also what grants us, because it ties to love, it grants us the experience of love.
So we don't have to hate on it.
There's no getting rid of the ego. There's no like, the egoic mind isn't even, it's like real and not real, but it's like a necessary part of creation.
It's a tool.
It's a necessary part of being able to experience this 3D reality that we came here to play. Now it's just a matter of playing it at a different vantage point, playing it at a higher level. Because you're rooted in your goddess frequency. You're rooted in you are the one. You're writing you are creating as in the likeness of the ultimate creator.
Which is your highest frequency. The highest frequency. And I think the purpose of this game, that we remember who we are, to come back to oneness. And thank God for the ego. Thank God for contrast. Thank God for darkness. I think the key is to be in the world, not of it. Like be in it, understand it, leverage it, play with the different identities and ego aspects. Ego not being bad, just ego being thoughts, words, habits, personality. You know, I love this quote Dr. Joe Dispenza says, where he says, if you want your reality to change, your personal reality to change, shift your personality. And all your personality is your thoughts, your words, your habits, your actions. And I think what you and I have shared and talked about is we play a lot with, identity, but the ultimate identity is
prior to thought, beliefs, and emotions. Actually, is even prior to that, right? Like that's kind of creator frequency is when you're the one, which is prior to thoughts, prior to beliefs, prior to thoughts, prior to beliefs, prior to the duality. Like the I am presence, when you're creating from your I am presence, it's prior to everything. So I was thinking about that today. Like there's a lot of teachings out there that are like, oh, I am abundant, and like fill in the blank after the I am, because that's what you are. But so many people take that and they're still coming from a separate sense of self that wants to try to fill a void that they're trying to fill. Like, oh, I am now worthy, or I am now abundant, or I am now wealthy, or I am this. But if it's coming from feeling like you're not that and you're the opposite of that, the signal that you're sending out to the field is a very mixed signal, and it's more about the broadcasting frequency that you're emitting. So it's about calibrating your instrument like you would a guitar, so it's more harmonious, so you can send a clearer signal, because the field is non-judge. It's not judging your signal. It's going to give you whatever your signal is that you're emitting. You
said the operative word, feeling.
Like
a lot of times we say these affirmations, which is your thought, your word, and your feeling, like thought, word, feeling, and deed and action. But when we say it, if we're not feeling or embodying the remembrance that you're saying it as the one. So to your point, there is no, and that's the journey, that's the work, that's the practice. Like if we go to yoga, if we go to dance, like it's a practice. You learn, and eventually in dance class we have muscle memory. We do enough moves over and over again. And so in this new consciousness, new earth that a lot of us are stepping into, I think it's just A, giving ourselves grace, but B, remembering where we're coming from. Like who is the essence, who is witnessing all the things you're doing.
The discerning thing is what is looking out of your eyes. Is what is looking out of your eyes? Is it the identity of someone that feels broken, wounded, not good enough? It's trying to figure out how to fix everything in their life, because that's what the separate self is going to always try to do, is carve out a better life experience. Or is it your God frequency looking out of your eyes? And in which case, if that's true, then that is what you're abiding in. separate sense of self and all the worries and the stories and narratives, they fall away.
They really do.
They fall away. And so does the past, and so does the future, and so does the concept, so does time, which is a mental concept. And all of a sudden you're just in the never-ending expansive
Now moment.
Yeah.
Because there's only ever the now.
Yeah.
Like, think about it.
And it's not even a now, chopping up nows. It's one continuous now moment.
Experienced through this construct as a linear time.
Yeah.
But when we can at least have the knowingness that the presence witnessing it is the great I am. It's
Yeah.
the great, that's why you're the one. That's why you're the main character. That's why, and I think, I know for me, I had my God spark moment on an airplane 2 years ago where I had this, not just a revelation cerebrally, but like an embodiment of feeling God in me, as me, through me, and everyone on the airplane was just God. And I started bawling. I had to put my sunglasses on the plane because I'm like crying for 15 minutes with this overwhelmingly like blissful knowingness that like it was just incredible. And I know you've had your God spark moments, and I don't know what you call it.
Realization.
Your realizations.
Yeah. And there were several glimpses that led up to that, but over the course of time, which, you know, people are living in this and they don't even realize it because it's just the addiction to the little mind that keeps them from realizing that you're already this.
Yeah.
That this is already all there, like this is it, like this is.
Mm-hmm.
And mine was, it's kind of interesting because there was nothing like, there was no fireworks when, you know, it was just like, oh, there's just this. And I never was that separate sense of self. I'm not the accumulation of a bunch of thought patterns or emotions or the body. And I've had out-of-body experiences like over a decade ago where I would be, the awareness was on the ceiling and my body was, the body was on the bed in Yoga Nidra.
Wow.
And witnessing the body on the bed doing Yoga Nidra, in Yoga Nidra. It was really interesting because there was no gap. There was just all of a sudden I was in Yoga Nidra. Next thing you know, the awareness of that which I am was looking at the body doing Yoga Nidra.
Yeah.
And it was interesting. The body was just there chilling.
Yeah.
And then the last thing I remember before I was back in the quote unquote identity entity, the one that feels like the human, being the human, my chest just started to like convulse, like I was gasping for air or something like that.
Interesting.
It's like gasping for air, and then all of a sudden I was back in the body.
Wow.
So it's kind of like how when people describe
cool.
like near-death experiences, and then all of a sudden they're like sucked back in the body, and like, I don't know if it was like, maybe someone knows this. I know it's like it was the awareness. Obviously, it's just like when you hear near-death experiences, but the body convulsing and not having the breath, it's almost like the life force energy was completely gone. Like I consider, like I don't even think my body would have had like a pulse if you checked it or something. Like I don't know, and I don't know how long. There was no, it couldn't have been that long.
Yeah.
But it didn't seem like short either. It's kind of weird. But so things like that would happen over the course of my Kundalini awakening that started in 2012-ish.
Can you explain a little bit more about Kundalini awakening? I don't know if I've experienced that, but I know there's a body of work around it.
Yeah, so I didn't realize that what I was doing was totally invoking a Kundalini awakening without my knowing.
Okay.
So I was doing conscious spinal breathing and tuning the chakras. And doing a ton of Yoga Nidra, which already gets you into your bliss body, which is...
I might have to learn that.
And so that combination, like just, like, I can't remember the exact day that it started. It just kind of felt like there was an energy that came up my spine. And one day there was a memory of, it happened when I was also doing yoga therapy training. So there's also all of that. So it was just a lot.
You're tapping into the energetics.
I'm tapping into the energetics.
Kundalini.
I just remember, like, I always thought like mudras were kind of BS.
Oh yeah.
So, but then I was sitting in meditation by myself, like during the midst of this, and I remember as soon as I put my fingers in mudra, like an energetic bolt went through my spine.
Wow.
And I was like,
you tuned your vessel to it.
Oh shit, what's happening? You know what I mean? And then there was one day when I was laying in bed and I was like kind of curled up in the fetal position. It was like 7 o'clock or something like that. I don't know why that's important, but there it is. And the energy started to like go up my spine and crack it. It felt like I was getting like a chiropractic adjustment.
Ooh,
where
I could use that.
I could hear the bone, I could hear it
Yeah.
cracking. Felt like just like a really intense chiropractic adjustment.
Wow.
And it went all the way up my spine until it got to the base of my neck. And then when I got to the base, and I wasn't scared. Most people, if all of a sudden
Yeah.
you're not in a state of being scared, it was like peace.
Yeah.
But I was aware that that's what was happening to
Sure.
the vessel. And then it reached the very base of my spine, and it was just like this, I can just explain it as like an oozy golden energy.
Yeah.
It just felt very comforting and
Yeah.
loving. And then I was wide open spiritually, so I couldn't even go to the grocery store or anything. Like I was getting like sharp solar plexus like
interesting.
warnings anytime I walked by somebody.
Yeah.
Very precognitive, experiencing, like knowing things before it happened. Very vivid meditations, like very vivid meditations. I had to kind of put like clamps around like what I was available for.
Yeah.
'Cause
I think that's
too wide
important.
open.
That's
very
good that
intentional
you
with
know that. And honestly, for anyone watching, I think that's important as you start to advance in your spiritual ascension and as we rise and broaden our consciousness, like to have, I call it spiritual hygiene, having certain practices in place that can support you. And maybe at some point we get to a point where you don't even need that. I know for me,
Yeah.
the next layer and level for me within the past 6 months, I was more open and susceptible to things. While I believe we're all one, I looked at it this way. It's like, you know, when you're at the airport, you're getting ready to walk out to go get picked up, but like someone's smoking and like you walk through their cloud of smoke and you're like,
Yeah.
and then now you smell like smoke.
Yeah, that's a good analogy.
Yeah, Source downloaded that to me as an analogy for spiritual hygiene and was like, Source was telling me it's important for you, just like you would go bathe and shower, to daily spiritually cleanse and release other energies.
Yeah.
And the way you can pick up on it sometimes is if you're in a frequency that's in a similar vicinity to that, you can kind of pick up on that someone's frequency. If you're in a taking energy from, like if you're like needing something from someone, I heard this from David Guillaume and this resonated. If you're in a taking energy, like needing something, you can then be a vibrational match to energies that are on that frequency. And so I've learned there's specific processes that I do just to cleanse and send love and light back to the source, release all things, be intentional about what I'm exposed to.
Yeah, I was very intentional with when I opened up to channeling in that, because it was like very obvious that if I went to the grocery store and I was getting like solar plexus, like fight or flight situations when someone would walk by, it was just it was just very intentional of what I was if I was going to be a channel, what am I going to be a channel for? Because I literally opened up to channeling. That was the only book I really bought at the very beginning of all of this, and then was opening to channel.
Oh, that's
Opening to
cool. Oh,
channel.
I'm sure you have some great insights.
There was a couple of insights I needed from that, mixed with the bandha and the spinal breathing and things like that literally woke up the energy, and it kickstarted a kundalini awakening.
What's the name of that book? Maybe we can drop it in the comments
Opening
below.
to channel, I believe, was the name of it, and it basically taught me how to connect with my first guide. Now that has evolved over time.
Sure.
Because still operating at that was 2012, like the egoic identity really likes tangible things to like latch onto, and a name and things like that.
Yep.
And that has evolved into
my ego loves all the things.
The
It likes to
infinities.
create all kinds of meaning for things. And I love that side of me, but I agree with you.
It's evolved to the infinity symbol now.
I love it.
But that taught me how to open more to energy and actually connect with whatever is assisting on the other, like whatever.
Yeah.
Because I'm obviously multi-dimensional being.
Yeah.
And there are guides and angels. I know there are these things. I've experienced them directly. And even if it's still part of the game, it's still part of the game that's fun to play.
It's so fun to play.
And
are we having fun?
yeah. And so, I was very intentional, and a guide came in and kind of helped me even acclimate even more into anchoring into the frequency to be able to open to channel at a higher level. But I was very specific that I was going to be a conscious channel.
Yes.
That I didn't want to be an unconscious channel like Abraham Hicks. Spirit started to move my mouth with syllables, and I want to be conscious, and I want to go straight through the astral realm. I want to go straight
past
to
the
higher
astral
frequency.
realm. Yeah. I'm the same. I'm like, I only channel Source. Like I'm only available.
I want to do like mediumship.
I'm only ever under the influence of God. I say that, by the way, if you're out drinking or having a cocktail, which is all fine, be intentional about it. And I say I'm only ever under the influence of God. But when I channel, same.
Same.
I've just decided that.
So you had an intention to go beyond the astral realm.
Yeah,
and
I
to
already
the-
knew I didn't want to
Yeah, I knew
mess
that too.
with
Yeah.
anything else. I'm like,
Yeah.
I ain't nobody got time for that. I mean, other people might have time for it, but I
Yeah.
don't.
I got a lot of like kind of energy like that at the beginning before I knew
Sure.
how to protect my energy, and that's why I got really intentional.
Yeah, and I can tell the difference if I'm lately part of my spiritual hygiene practice that was shown to me through a couple of other spiritual leaders in the community, like Aaron Lyon's presence, some ideas, and I trust because I'm the one, because you're the one, because we're all the main character. I do feel like Source, God, will give you things in ways that make sense to you, that align
Yeah.
for you. Sometimes it'll come directly through your vessel.
Mhm.
Sometimes it'll come through a billboard, a song, a person, a podcast.
It's all source.
It's all source.
It's all source.
Yeah.
You are the synchronicity, and you're creating. Once you
You
get
are
to
the
your-
one.
When you get to your creator, oops, I keep messing with
That's
this
okay.
mic. When you get to the creator frequency level, and you realize that this is very fluid, it's very
Yeah.
malleable, and you're creating from the I am.
Yeah.
It gets, and you realize you're one with all of it, and that's
Yeah.
like your lived experience. Though it's not conceptually
Yeah.
understood, it's a felt experience.
Totally.
It gets to be really fun, and you already are one with all the things, including the synchronicity.
Yeah.
I have a funny story. I don't know why it's coming up right now, but maybe I'll save it. I don't know. It's about like even in your resistance, you're still aligned. You're still being guided. You're still.
Oh, I love that. Well,
Yeah.
here, drop a comment below. Have you connected? Are you channeling? Is that something you've tapped into? Have those gifts come online for you? Do you
trust them?
trust them? Yeah.
Are you intentional with them?
Yeah, we'd love to hear it.
Yeah.
Do you want to share your story? Or do you feel like it's meant for another
Maybe it's
time? Because that's amazing that you don't have to, like, no matter what you're in, even if you're in breakdown, you can actually still.
Oh yeah, I'll share. It's a quick one. It's a quick
Sure.
one. So I was I was taking a nap on the couch, and I look up, and it's 10:10 on the clock.
I love some
And
angel numbers.
So then I fall back to sleep, and I wake up at 10:44, which is my other number with a 0. And I was like, okay, so it was just like I just woke up, and that was the time. And then it happened again. I just woke up, and that was the time. And so then the third time I fell back to sleep. The third time I started to get resistant with it. I was just playing with it. I was like, you know what? This is not going to happen. This can't happen again. This is not. I'm just going to lay here, and I probably laid there for like a good 3 to 5 minutes and was like resisting opening my eyes because I was trying to mess it up. I was trying to not be aligned. I was trying to throw resistance on my path. I was trying to see if I could fuck it up, actually.
Yeah.
And then I open my eyes, and it's 11:11. Had I not challenged and resisted for exactly the amount of time that I challenged and resisted,
Yep.
I would
So
not
you're
have.
all perfect no matter what you got going on.
And so the message there is like, you can't mess this up. You're divinely guided, even in the moments of
that's
resistance.
That's such a good message.
Even when you're in the resistance, even when you feel like you're messing it up, like we kind of talked about earlier, like you have to be perfect in order to like do all. Even in your resistance, you're divinely guided and protected and loved. It's just, are you resisting that?
Yeah.
Are you resisting that? Are you resisting that you're always guided and protected and things are always working out? Like, are you resisting that piece?
Yeah.
Because that's the truth.
What if that's
and
the
that will
only
be
limitation? That
Yeah.
we believe that we're not worthy or deserving, or that
that's
it's not all working out for us. Like, what if that most simplest, basic form
Yeah.
is like,
and it's all coming from the separate self that thinks they got to figure it out on their own, that it's disconnected, feels disconnected from the one, like there's something outside of them that's going to be able to save them or make it happen or this or that.
which, like you presenced earlier, is part of the game.
It's part of the game.
So even if you're in that, give yourself grace. Here's what I've learned to soften the human experience, the human journey a little bit. 'Cause sometimes it can get challenging. There's a lot of things that we experience that if we don't have this kind of training or understanding or tapped in, where we can feel like we're a victim to circumstances. And some people are. There's like situations where you might actually be a victim to something, but it's beyond that. You still, like, how you respond to it. When we say victim consciousness, we're not victim shaming. It's victim consciousness of beyond
fear-based consciousness.
beyond that. How do you respond to the situation that you dealt with? And when we don't know, when we haven't been exposed to this, I think it can feel scary. It can feel frustrating. It can feel annoying and disconnected. But it's like the way I soften the human experience. It's like, okay, for this phase, I decided to explore a state of consciousness. We'll call it victim or not enough, and so I soften it by just saying, I'm exploring a state of consciousness or a state of being. Now I'm deciding to explore a different state of consciousness.
Yeah.
And then it makes it more of an adventure. I'm exploring. I'm experimenting, like, as opposed to like, because sometimes you'll go from victim consciousness and people will swing into personal responsibility, but hyper personal responsibility, and be like,
and that's the kind of, that's
it's
the
my
same
fault. And then they're in a frequency of blame, guilt, ashamedness, and like,
thing. Yeah, it's kind of the two sides of the same
exactly
coin.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Okay.
I think there was something else, but I'm not sure. I wanted to drop in, but we'll see.
And I'm wondering about this light.
Yeah. Well, you're up here. I don't even know what time it is, but you just missed, or you just got to see the Arizona sunset.
Mm-hmm. And our first episode of the Divine Femme show.
Yeah.
From Sarah's amazing channelings and intuition to collaborate.
Well, you actually called it in, so.
I did. Totally. I did ask for it because I asked, I took a nap, and then boom, she answered. That's how fast.
That's, I think that this is a beautiful example of like, for people that want to share their gift or their voice or their medicine, whether you're an artist or any kind of creative or just in general, anything, like, if it's a calling on your heart, there's a reason for it, and it's because the collective, or there's a group of, there's people, there's souls, there's hearts that are ready to receive it.
Yeah, and do it imperfectly. Just do it.
Yeah.
Look at how fast we got this up and running, thanks to you.
Yeah, it was fat. Wait, how long? When did we have this idea?
Last
Last
two Sundays ago. Not this Sunday, the Sunday before. Sarah had the idea, called me. And then we had a meeting 2 days later, 5-hour meeting. We had 2 days after that, the next day I created some branding. I got on a flight Thursday. We finalized the branding. You got the YouTube channel. I got the Instagram.
Hit record.
And then now we met again to just scope out areas, different resorts and luxury places to film. And boom, it was speed to market. And that's true. Like, I think for me, and I was willing to release the old identity, the old aspects of self, and to just step into my beingness. This is something we've talked about. I've said it this way. I think Sarah has a similar way to say it too. It's like, I am her. I finally had to decide there's nothing separating me from my greatest version, from the best version of me. And I just decided I am her, and I'm witnessing my becoming. So now anything that unfolds, whatever I want to perceive as good, bad, not, it's all irrelevant. It's more, I'm planting the flag in the sand. I am her, and whatever shows up is part of the unfolding. It has to be, because as the divine in me and proclaiming it, I'm just going to back myself with 100% acceptance and self-love and be like, this is it. This is who I am. And then watching things unfold. Part of that was letting go of perfectionism, needing to like wait. So if you have a gift, like Sarah was saying, if you have a gift, if you know you're a channel, you know you're a light leader, you know you're meant to like share your voice or just be your art, your creativity,
your music, everything.
Music, like, and we're here to be of service, right? We're here to be of service, and I believe God gives us these gifts on our hearts, the desires, not to frustrate us, but to be the flow, the conduit for others. And I have heard this quote: God doesn't call on the qualified. The divine qualifies the called. So you'll get qualified as you go.
Yeah. So don't worry about being perfect, because you'll, like we said before, there's no such thing as competition or failure or any of that. And it's like, try to find one successful person that hasn't gone through whatever, like you hear all of these amazing stories all the time. Like, failure is part of success. That's part of like the dualistic game.
Took me a long time to figure that out.
Failure is part of success. It's like, watch me fail as fast as I can.
Yeah.
So that way
I wish I knew that
learn
early
everything that isn't working and align what does resonate.
Yes.
Sooner.
Because then you experiment. You test.
You just experiment. So it's really a reframe that's really important, because there is no such thing as like perfect. There's just, it's much easier to just get started messy and just be authentic and not have to worry about perfecting it, and realizing you're just going to go through so many magical shifts and alchemize so much, like just naturally without having to like even figure it out. It's going to naturally unfold for you.
Yeah.
It's kind of like just that metaphor where I shared the different, like even when I was trying to mess it up and be resistant and be stubborn about it, everything was still working out in a line.
The universe is like, haha.
You're one with all of it.
You're still aligned.
Yeah, you're still aligned.
You're going to try to fuck it up? No.
Yeah, you're still divinely guided. Sorry.
Now put on your divine femme pants and let's go. Or skirt.
Yeah, isn't that funny?
No, that is really funny. I feel like you might have told me that story, but I like hearing it. I don't know if I've heard it, because I've had moments like that too. And God, if you have moments where synchronistically you've just been guided, you've been led, or you've had interactions with the divine. We talk a lot about angel numbers or spirit animals, like messages, anything that reminds you that you're the one. It's not an accident. Sometimes, I mean, if you're watching, you're already on this ship with us on this wavelength of like, you already get it. But I still love dwelling in the magic. 15 years later, after being in this journey and having my awakening, I think we had within the same year, I think I was 2011 or 12, like we both had a similar awakening. I still love the magic. Like I love the childlike innocence and being in awe. I mean, that's why you and I talk for 45 minutes at the gym parking lot. Yeah. Because we're just like in the magic of it.
Because that's the fun, is to embody it.
The embodiment.
The embodiment.
And that's the message of divine
And
femme.
that's like even like how, were you saying this the other day? And like how even like the whole concept of enlightenment and how that has shifted, right?
Like lighten up. That's what enlightenment is.
It's
just
really
lighten up.
about embodying your like this new earth frequency that we're tipping into. If you're resonating with this, like you're on the new earth bus, and like and the frequency of just I just lost it. God, I just lost it. What was I saying?
Yeah, around. Oh, that's so funny.
Did you just
Same. It was like distortion field came in and it was like, cling. Oh, being in the awe and the magic of it. And like,
I mean,
to still relish in it. And if you're in it's embodiment, which is divine femme is feminine magnetism, but embodiment.
It's embodiment of your divinity.
Yes,
it's embodiment of your divinity. You are the living, walking, talking transmission of the God frequency through you, as you.
Please talk about goddess, how you say it on your channel.
Oh, God essence. The God essence,
which is goddess.
Goddess energy, right? Yeah. That is truly like living.
I've never heard it that way till you presenced it for me.
Living
so I love that.
from and as. And the as part is key. Living from and as your true divine nature. Yeah. Fully embodied as the living transmission of the goddess frequency, which is your God essence frequency, which is your creator frequency.
That. Yes.
It is the creative life force energy.
And that's your currency.
And that's your currency.
And that's what we're meant to give and share and serve.
Yeah. Yep. It's full-on authentic expression, divine expression, messy expression, magical expression of what feels fun and playful in the moment, and that is key too. Yeah. Because even like maybe this is a whole nother episode because this is probably getting long, but even when we sat down for our clarity session that was 5 hours, we came full circle.
We have to talk about that on another session.
That was good.
That was so good for any just new earth CEO who's choosing to be in like the feminine energetics, the beingness in their business. Like I think what we experienced during that 5-hour experience in real time when we were having our clarity session to launch Divine Femme Show. Yeah. There's so much gold and magic that I think. So that'll be for another episode.
That will be on another episode. Yay.
How are you feeling?
I feel complete. I feel like this is good.
I feel complete for now too. If you have questions, please drop them below. We'd love to answer them. I mean, this channel transmission is something that was near and dear and alive to our hearts. So please
let us know what resonated. We'd love to hear from you. And
be sure to like, subscribe, share this, because if you get an intuition that someone could benefit from it, trust, share it. It's good karma anyway. We just circulate good energy.
Yep. And we will be back with another episode soon.
Bye.
Bye.